Hey everyone, welcome to another MiME Design Studio product overview. I know it's been a while, but we've been cooking up something really special for you, something we believe was worth the wait. But now the wait is over. Introducing our brand new add-on AniMiME, the next evolution for 2D to 3D cartoon faces. Now you can add a 2D face rig and bind it to your character with as little as 2 buttons. And yes, it is available now exclusively on Blender Market. But some of you may be thinking, why should I buy another face rig tool if I've already bought EasySnap? The short answer is, don't. Because we're offering everyone who bought the EasySnap Pro mouth rig and eye rig, multi-packs included, the beta versions for free. Just send us a message on Blender Market with your order ID numbers and we'll send it to you for free, up until version 1. This is just our way of saying thank you to our first customers. You may find that, for now, EasySnap offers more features. Over time, this will change, but upgrading to the AniMiME add-on may not be necessary for all EasySnap users, depending on your needs and your workflow. Alright, let's get to the overview. One thing to note before we start is AniMiME only operates in version 4.2, so you'll need to upgrade to get it. As usual, we're going to go over to Edit, Preferences, and we won't start in Extensions. We'll have to go to Add-on, and in this little checkbox up here, we're going to select that and go to Install from Disk. Select the downloaded zip file and click Install. It will install as an extension, but you can find all of the information also in the add-on section. All right, now we can close. And on the right side of the 3D viewport, you'll see the AniMiME tab. Select it, and immediately you'll see our interface. If you don't see anything come up in this drop-down menu, don't worry, everything's fine. Select Refresh Gallery. That should populate all of the galleries going forward. The first rig that pops up is one that is working in development. So we'll just select this and go down to the second rig, which has 2 eyes. And now we can see all of our options. If you select each gallery, you'll see the different eye styles that we can choose from. I'm going to go with the trapezoid. Then we choose our iris. We have 1 flat and 3 different gradient types. I'll just stick with flat. Now, depending on your rig, you may not want to have eyelashes or eyebrows. In some of our cartoons, we have 3D eyebrows that we want to integrate. And some of our characters are boys, and eyelashes tend to look more feminine. Let's keep eyelashes and eyebrows selected because we're going to create a female character. If you do deselect these options, you'll no longer have the ability to select from those galleries. Let's go with something really cartoony. And something a little more playful. If you liked the original options that were provided, you can just select Add Custom Rig. Immediately, you'll notice a few things happened. Our end panel is now grayed out. We have a new collection full of objects, and we have an object in our scene that wasn't there before with our EasySnap rig connected to it. At the top of the end panel, we'll see a few instructions in red. AMFR stands for AniMiME Face Rig, and this alert tells us that we haven't renamed our objects. For now, that's okay, because we're not finished yet. However, if you're not ready to bind the face rig to a pre-made character, and you just want to work on the rig itself, all you'd have to do is go down to Force Rename, and you can rename the character from there. I like to just put AMFR, and I'll change the name to like Bob or something like that. But for now, we'll leave it. Let's take a look at what our rig looks like so far. So we can either go to Viewport Shading or the Rendering mode. And this is what our character looks like. No need to panic if your character looks scaly and stressed. We'll get to that stuff later. But for now, I'm going to go up to the collection, minimize it. I'm going to turn on my character Let's take a look. I can deactivate my AniMiME rig for now. That's what my character looks like. And you'll notice that my character is a bit smaller than the AniMiME default character face. Not a problem. So I'm going to select my character. I'm going to go over to the materials property. I'll add a material slot and move it up to the top because AniMiME is going to replace the top active material. That is very important. Make sure you have that slot available for the AniMiME add-on to replace the material. So I have that selected. I'm going to go over to the AniMiME add-on, make sure that under selected, my character is indeed selected, and I'll select bind to character. Now it's going to automatically pop up the batch rename, and I'm going to change my character's name just to get rid of those pesky alerts from AMFR to, let's call it, oh, it's a female, so we'll call her Jane. And now if we open the AniMiME collection, we'll see that the character's name is Jane. If you want a shorter name, you'll have to put in more of the, you'll have to put in AMFR x2 underscore character, and you can replace all of that. So what do I do now that I have my material added to my character, but it's not actually there? How do I connect my AniMiME rig to my character? It's actually very easy. But first, let's rename this material, because if you have multiple characters, these names will stack up and organization is key. So let's change this to Jane. Now for my character, I just need the face. So I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to select the faces where I want my AniMiME face to be. I'll even select just underneath it. And I'm going to select the Jane material and assign it there. You'll see that our AniMiME skin is applied. Again, we'll change that in a moment. I'll come back out. Make sure I'm in object mode. I'll select the rig. And all I'm going to do is move it up. You can start seeing the pieces snap together to our character. Now we can scale it down. And everything falls into place. Very simple, very easy. And we can just select the default object and delete it, because we don't need that anymore. And there's Jane looking confused and stressed and scaly for some reason. And we'll move our look target up. There we have it. But how do we now replace the AniMiME skin with our desired character skin, which is this wood texture here? Well, we're going to make sure that we're in object mode, select the character, select the texture that we want for the skin, and I'll open my shaders panel in a new window. I actually have all the nodes that I need selected already. And we can see here how they're connected to the principal BSDF. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to copy it and paste it. So copy it, and then we'll select the Jane material, select home to center it. We'll just paste it up top. NG. We'll get rid of the default test materials because we don't need any of that. And we'll just connect it just as we did in the original material. And there we have it. Of course, in the original material, we have a roughness of 0.7 and no metallic. So we're going to do the same thing just to make sure everything blends together perfectly. can see those different changes there. So we'll change our italics to 0 and to 0.7, and there we go. Perfect match. Now, one thing we can do with the AniMiME add-on that EasySnap couldn't do is we can select our bones, our armature, and we can select this object here. And I'll turn on my X mirroring, and we can actually move the eyes independently. So we'll just get them into position. Ooh, not too far. We are still using texture limits here. That is the edge of the material that we chose. If I did want to have it go a bit farther, it's not a problem either. We can just go back into edit mode, select these two, and assign the Jane material there as well. As you can imagine, we can do the same thing with the eyebrows and the mouth. We can even flip it, scaling it on the Z-axis by -1. Back into object mode. Let's turn this off for a second, and let's just focus on our materials here. Now, here is the brains of the operation. Over to the left, we have the actual image textures if you would like to create your own and replace them. So it made it easy to access as opposed to jumping into the group node and trying to navigate this bowl of spaghetti. So it's pretty easy. Let's start with the red eye. Now we have them on as default just so you can see them when you first start, see what options are available. We have our specularity, which you can't see right now, but if we turn it up, another feature that's not available in EasySnap in this manner, it does have specularity, but they're not reacting to the world. These are strictly cartoon 2D specular shapes. We can choose from 3 or fade them down to 2, fade them down to 1, and the third, the largest, is at the top corner of each eye. So let's just move actually let's split this window and let's see what it looks like in cycles. And let's add sky texture. And let's add, there we go. Turn that off, and now we can see what's going on in cycles. It's a bit bright. And if I move the look target, you'll see the extra specular shapes there, the corner of the eyes. So I can choose to have just the 2 or just 1, and how much of each. But you can't select which one that you want. It goes in that order from the top left to bottom right, and vice versa on the opposite eye. Other than that, we have some other options that we can look into, just so we can see both in EV and cycles. Let's turn this off. We have eye roughness. So we don't have to have our eye reflecting the scene. We can have it just flat. We can do the same thing with our eyelids right down here. So we can have everything just matte, or we can have some reflectivity. So we'll just put that just up a little bit, and we'll do the same with the eyes. There we go. But the outline will always be matte. We found that trying to have reflection on the eyebrows and the eye outline, it didn't look useful. So we omitted that. Other than that, for the eye options, we have this gloss factor here, where we can add in just a little bit more depth to the eyes. You can dial in how much you want. You can change the color of the iris. And for the eyelids, we have the option to turn off the outline. We find that's a little bit more effective for the bottom eyelids. We'll see what that looks like. So we just want to have that kind of a look, where it's a little heavier on the top. And then you can choose what kind of thickness that you want. Do you want it to be thick or do you want it to be thinner? This is more so for if you have like a male character and you just want to have the eyes a little bit lighter, not so heavy. For if you have eyelashes, it's better or suggested to keep the eyelids, the eye line thick. But you can do the same thing with the bottom. So that's with just a regular line, and you can make it thicker. And then we have the angle of the top eyelids. You can rotate them. We suggest using this sparingly because this is actually what the eyebrows are for, to create that kind of emotion. But sometimes you can add just a little bit more push of that emotion. But it's easy to break the character if you go too far with those options. So we're just using it sparingly, if at all. But that is what that's for. And we have glow, which is it's still a work in progress, trying to get rid of those alpha lines there. You can choose the color of your glow. Just keep in mind, once you get past a certain point, it's just going to turn white because the effect is so strong. And we have a glow effect for the iris. So let's find the hue that will show that the most. Maybe blue. You can see it a little bit more in Eevee. If you turn the glow effect up, it makes the iris glow in this very interesting way. There you go, you can see it in both. And finally, we have our mouth key shapes. This is where you will animate the mouth. Of course, we have ours flipped, so everything is turned upside down. There we go. In the future, we are aiming to have the same options as Easy Snap, having male and female character mouths. Right now, as I understand it, there are some texture limits with Blender in Eevee. So to keep the add-on compatible with Eevee and Cycles, we've had to limit our options. But we're still looking into workarounds to resolve the texture limit issue. So that's a brief overview of the brand new AniMiME add-on. You can purchase it now on Blender Market. And for those who have the Easy Snap Pro mouth rig and eye rig, send us a message with your order ID and we'll send you the copy for free. Have a good one.